Hello, yoga friends and family. It's Susan here, coming to you live from the studio today. I've been a bit MIA the last few days. I think I haven't filmed since my birthday. I spent a lot of Monday doing some plant care, and I might actually do a little video because I have a bunch of jade cuttings that some of you might enjoy taking home and planting. I unfortunately don't have enough little pots or enough cactus soil to do that, but send me a message if you're interested. I'd be happy to even deliver them for you. It is Thursday, January 28th, and I just finished doing some care of the plants. I haven't been feeling super awesome. I think a little bit of an intestinal blockage might have been happening. It didn't get completely blocked, which is why I'm here today. So I know that you guys are all enjoying the videos, so I wanted to bring you one today. And it might be a bit gentle. I'm not sure how I'm going to be feeling. I'm still having a bit of pain, so get yourself situated. I've got a block, I've got myself a strap today, and I've got my blanket that I always have. So we'll start seated, and we'll settle in for a moment and just allow the body to still. Allow your eyelids to just softly close. Start to relax your face, relax your jaw. The lips come together and we begin to breathe through the nose and the nose only, if that's available to you today. We take a moment to tune in, to let go of the day that's passed by thus far. Bringing ourselves as firmly rooted into the present moment as we can. So we let go of thoughts of the past. We let go of thoughts of the future. And we bring ourselves to the here and now. I believe it was the Buddha once said that allowing your mind to drift back into the past only leads to depression, because we then begin to think about things that have happened and we can't change. But then at the same time, allowing us to start to live in the future, this tends to lead to anxiety because we worry about things that haven't even yet happened. So the best place to live, to be, is in the moment. So allow yourself right now to be in the moment, to be in your body, to be connected to the breath, letting everything else just slip away for the next little bit. And begin to allow for a full expansion now of your lungs. Think about them expanding from bottom to top, from side to side, and even from front to back. So allow them to expand in every direction they can. Allow for as much movement in your abdomen, your chest, your back as possible. And it's oftentimes when we come to these places of stillness that the mind, that monkey mind, begins to race around. It's trying to distract you from what you are attempting to do. Be in the moment. So notice the tendency for that to happen, and don't get frustrated, and don't judge the thoughts that surface in your mind, but just let them come and go. Try to have no attachment, no need to judge. Just keep coming back to your breath. Every inhale a little deeper than the one that just came in. And every exhale slightly more complete than the one you just let out. Relaxing. Settling heavily through the seat, thighs, feet, whatever part of your body that is making contact with the earth. And try to get really light, extending upwards through the crown of your head. The weight on the shoulders begins to release. The weight on the mind begins to grow lighter. And the weight at the heart begins to soften. Bring your palms together and bring your hands now into your heart center, and take a moment. Scan the body. How are you feeling today? And not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. How are you really feeling? And take this time now to set an intention for yourself for this practice. Something that you personally are working on, would like to focus on. And not only do we practice for ourselves, but we practice for something greater. So take a moment now to set that intention for something bigger than yourself, or something or someone outside of you. Sealing in that intention now with the chanting of Om. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. Make your way to your table pose now. So come to that standing on the hands and on the knees. Fingers spread wide, hands as wide as the shoulders, wrist crease parallel at the top of the mat. Look back at your thighs. They should be parallel to each other, toes pointing straight back, heavy through the tops of the feet. And with a slight little lift to the low belly area, try to let all four of your limbs start to bear your weight evenly. Gripping with your fingerprints, leading with the tailbone as you inhale, it lifts, the chin lifts. Open the throat, shoulders stay down. Exhale, draw the tail down as you tuck the chin, rounding out the back, inhaling to come back into that cow, that U shape to the spine. Exhale into your cat stretch. And continue moving. Noticing any tight areas. Maybe if you haven't been on your mat for a little bit, you're going to feel that. I know I do in my low back. Just warming and waking up the body. and getting used to moving at the measure that your breath is. So it should take the whole inhale to come into cow, and it should take the entire exhale to come up to that highest point in your cat. One more time, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Neutral table pose, tuck the toes, press up and back to your first downward facing dog. Making any movements that feel good for your body right now as you come into this first deeper stretch. Maybe you're walking the heels up and down, maybe you're moving the hips around, maybe you're moving the head, shoulders a bit. What feels good? What does your body need? And once you've explored those movements, see if you can find a place of stillness, pressing the heels gently down, pushing the chest back, shoulders pull up and back, away from the ears, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking one last deep breath in as you exhale. Set your knees down and untuck your toes. Table pose. Gripping with the fingers, wait for the inhale. Send your right leg back and your left arm forward for a spinal balance. Try to keep looking straight down to the ground, ensuring your neck remains in line with your spine. Fingers of the right hand are gripping the mat firmly, and you're lifting the shoulder up and away from the wrist. Push back through that right heel. Spread those left fingers and spread those right toes. If you want more of a challenge, work with your eyes closed. Take one more inhale, stretch it out, lift the limbs a bit higher. Exhale, lower the hand and the knee down. And let's inhale, send the left leg back and the right arm forward. Keep that right shoulder pulled back and down, away from the right ear. Fingers of the left hand are gripping. Try not to lock out that left elbow. Keep a little softness there. Pull that low belly in. So we're trying to avoid swaying through the low back here. And again, if you want more of the challenge, you can try closing your eyes, playing with balance even more. Take another inhale, stretch the limbs, lift them a little higher. Exhale, set the hand and the knee down. And now let's bring the knees wider, big toes come together. Push your hips as close to your heels as you can get them, lowering your chest, lowering your head. If your head doesn't make it to the ground, use your hands like a pillow underneath your forehead. And if your head does come down, the arms can relax where they are out in front of you, or circle all the way back alongside the body. And try here to just let your shoulders roll and melt right off of your back. Reconnect with that long, deep breath. In through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Reaching your hands forward. Straightening the arms completely, crawling the fingers as far as they'll go. And now look between your hands, take a deep breath in, and walk your hands over to the right. How far can you go? And then relax all the way down. So you're feeling compression along the right side and a stretch, an expansion along the left side from the hip to the armpit, down that left arm. Continue to breathe deeply. Now as you inhale, look between the palms. As you exhale, come back through center. Walk those hands all the way to the left, as far as they'll go, and then relax down. Let your head just hang. Compressing the left side as you expand the right side now. Keep breathing deeply. Keep breathing slowly. Inhale, look between the hands, and exhale, walk your hands back to center. Let's pull ourselves up to table and bring the knees back into hip distance as you tuck the toes. Press back to downward dog. Once again. Bend your left knee, press your right heel closer to the ground, and then hold this stretch. Breathe. Bending the right knee, press the left heel down, hold, and breathe. Rise high on the toes. Hips lift up, push the chest way back. Don't lift the head as you lower your heels down. Try to press both heels now down at the same time. Keep pushing the chest gently back. Good. As you inhale, float to the toes, soft knees as you look forward, and begin to walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Good. Let's inhale, look out in front of you, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, melt the chest to the thighs, forehead draws in, toes are taking just as much weight as the heels. Breathe. Now let's inhale, crawl the hands forward away from the feet, and if you can't touch the floor, use your block, use some little lift to get those hands up a little higher, and then press down through your right foot and inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Now really try to send the crown of your head forward, press that left heel back. Shoulders pull back and down away from the ears, inhale the left leg even higher. Exhale, left foot next to right. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Continue to lengthen your entire spine. Continue to breathe deeply through your nose. Take another inhale, lift that right leg up. As you exhale, lower the right foot down. Big toes come together, start to bend the knees. Sit down into that imaginary chair. Squeeze your thighs together, reach down for the outside edges of your feet, and now inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Don't unbend the legs. Point the tailbone down, lift the chin, look between those hands. Pull the shoulders down, keep squeezing those legs together. Take another inhale. As you exhale, see if you can sit just a bit deeper, and now inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, tip back. Turn your palms out and swan dive. Come all the way down. Breathe deeply here. Weight in the toes. Good. Bend the knees if you need to get your fingerprints right on the floor on either side of the feet, and take a big step back with your left foot. Land on the ball of the foot, and now walk your right foot all the way over so it's next to your right hand. Bend deeply into the right knee as you look out in front of you. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Keep breathing. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Press that left leg as straight as you can. Take another full inhale. As you exhale, lower your left knee and tuck your left toes. Right hand to the right knee. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. Look up. Try to keep bending that right knee deeply, and then let your chest fall back. Reach back through that left arm. Take another inhale, really extend it back. As you exhale, left fingers to the floor. Right fingers come down. Tuck the left toes, straighten that left leg. Walk your hands around to the left. Turn your right toes in. Adjust your feet to one leg's length apart. And inhale, look forward. As you exhale, begin to fold. Planting your hands, walking those hands slowly back, trying to maintain that shoulder distance width between them. Hug your elbows into shoulder distance and pull yourself through those thighs. Toes are taking just as much weight as the heels. Feel that hamstring stretch. Good. As you inhale, slowly lift through the back of the head as you walk the hands forward. Look forward. Come back around to the front of your mat. Turn your right toes out. Step your left foot forward and fold over those legs. Breathe. Now, hands on the floor, right foot steps back. Land on the ball of the foot, walk your left foot out to the left. Slide that right foot back as far as you can. Now look forward. Pull the left hip back, shift the right hip forward, breathe deeply. Focus the eyes. Shoulders pull down, away from the ears. All 10 of your fingerprints are gripping your yoga mat. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, lower the right knee and untuck the right toes. Left hand to the knee. Inhale, right arm sweeps up as you look up. Let your hips melt down towards the ground. Continue to breathe deeply. Lift the chest, lift the chin. Take another inhale, reach it back. Exhale, right fingers come down, and then the left comes down. Tuck the right toes, pick up the right knee, walk your hands now around to the right. And again, we face the long edge of our mat, just in the other direction. Adjust your feet one leg's length apart. Inhale, look out in front of you. Exhale, take a grip on the big toes, and if you can't reach them, grab the ankles instead. Look forward as you inhale. Pull yourself down as you exhale. Relax the head. Let the elbows bend and flare out to the side, shoulders away from ears. Toes are taking just as much weight as the heels. Keep breathing. Pull yourself just a little further. Last 2 breaths. Now with your next inhale, come up to a flat back. Exhale, release the bind. Walk back around to the top of your mat. Left toes turn out. Take a big step forward with the right foot and fold here over those legs. Breathe. Now, big toes together, we bend the knees once again. Squeeze the knees together, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Utkatasana. Tuck the tailbone. Squeeze the thighs together. Look up between the hands if you can. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your palms together, your hands at your heart. Start to lower your chest towards your thighs. Take your left tricep now to the outside of that right leg. So I'll face you for a little ease here. So we're going to try to hook that arm. Try not to let your knees fall out to the side. So knees point forward. Turn, open to the right and look over that right shoulder. Keep breathing deeply. Take another inhale, twist a little deeper. Exhale, look down. Touch the floor, straighten the legs, and fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips down, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, arms sweep forward and up, coming up to Utkatasana again. Take another full inhale as you exhale, hands to your heart. Now we take it to the left, so drop the chest down. Take that right arm to the outside of that left leg, but try not to let that push the knees out to the sides. Keep them pointing straight ahead. Palms together, hands towards the heart, look over that left shoulder. Spiral your chest, open to the left. Good, take one more inhale, twist, twist, twist. Exhale, look down, touch the floor, straighten the legs, and fold. Beautiful, let's plant the palms. Step back to the top of a push-up. And if you need a modification in your plank, you would simply set the knees down. Keep breathing. Press the space between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Good, inhale, look forward. Exhale, hips and shoulders come down towards the ground at the same time, and then inhale into your cobra. Pull the chest forward, stretch those toes back. Good, push into those hands, inhale a little higher, tuck your toes, take it back to downward dog. Hold and breathe. Shoulders away from ears. Good, take one more inhale, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Thighs together, feet together, keep your toes tucked. Walk your hands towards your knees, sit back towards your heels. So try not to let your heels fall out to the sides. So this might be enough of a stretch for you. Some of you might be taking your hands up onto your thighs. I think my toe might be still broken, so I'm gonna be a little gentle with that today. If this isn't enough, those of you that come to practice regularly might know that further place to take it. So you're only taking your hands back behind you if you're sitting right on your heels. And we're only really coming up to sit on the heels, hands on the thighs, if the hips are all the way down. So if your hips are up in the air, don't come back, because you're not really bringing the weight into the feet. Find that place that feels like it's enough of a stretch. You're not at risk of injury. Send your breath down to those feet, the toes, the arches. Keep breathing. If your hands are back behind you as you inhale, slowly bring your shoulders over your hips again, hands on your thighs, and then bring your hands to the ground. Come off of those heels, untuck your toes, tops of the feet down, and sit back onto those heels once again. Hold and breathe. If you can't quite come down this far, just come down to your furthest place. If you're sitting all the way down on the heels and you want to take the stretch further, take your hands behind you, lean back into the hands. Maybe you can lift those knees up, stretching out the tops of the feet and the front of the ankles. Take another inhale and lower the knees if you've lifted them. Bring your hands back to the top of your mat, retuck your toes, and take it up and back to downward dog. Good, as you inhale, rise high on the toes. Bend the knees as you look forward and let your feet come all the way up to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Palms come together, bring your hands to your heart. Relax the arms down to your sides and take a couple deep breaths. Good, take a big step open towards the back of your mat with one of your feet, wherever you can see the screen of your computer easiest. So you want to pigeon toe your feet, creating an equilateral triangle. So the space between the feet is about the length of one of your own legs. Turn your right toes out, line up your heels. So your feet are still one leg's length apart. Don't move the toes. Slide your left heel back maybe an inch. Arms to a T. Start to reach over that right leg. When you can't reach any further, lower your right hand down. Look back at your left arm. Rotate the shoulder back so the thumb points up and let your left arm come straight up in the air now. Keep breathing deeply here. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Extending and lengthening through the crown. Both shoulders stay down away from the ears. Take one more inhale. And look down to your right foot as you exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Heel to heel alignment again. So keep your right toes where they are. Slide your right heel back. Start to reach out over that straight left leg. Let your left hand come down. Roll the right shoulder back. Turn the thumb up. Let your right arm come all the way up. If it's hurting your neck to look at your thumb, look out to the right or down to your left big toe. Keep breathing deeply through your nose. Take another inhale, extend through those fingers, look down to your left foot. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your left toes in. Hands to the hips. Adjust your feet, pigeon toe them one leg's length apart. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. So what way do you always go? I'm a left over right. Are you a left over right or a right over left? Go opposite, keeping the hands behind the back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift through the crown, and now hinge from your hips. Without locking out your knees, come down to your furthest point, relax your head. Now, squeeze those shoulder blades together, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and start to pull your arms over your head. Try to let your toes continue to take just as much weight as the heels. Beautiful. Take one more inhale, stretch the arms a bit further. Exhale, release the arms down. Let your arms just relax. Let your knees bend so you're in a rag doll, but in a wide-legged position. Nodding the head, yes. Shaking the head, no. And just breathe deeply. Good. On your next inhale, start to lengthen the spine. Walk the hands forward as you straighten the legs. Look forward. Come back around to the top of your mat. Step your back foot forward. Adjust your feet hip distance. And fold now over those legs. Playing around with where the weight is. Too much weight in the heels, the hips fall towards the back edge of your mat. Too much weight coming into the toes, and it feels like you're going to fall forward. Find that perfect place. Can you grab your ankles? Can you grab your calves? Can you pull your chest now closer to your thighs? Still taking weight in the toes. Breathe. Good. Let's release that grip. Walk the feet together. Plant the palms. Step back to the top of a push-up. From the toes or the knees, you choose. Find your edge. Grip with the fingers, look forward as you inhale, lower with control as you exhale. Curl up to cobra. Breathe. Tops of the feet are heavy, but the kneecaps lift away from the earth. Pull your chest forward, inhale a little higher, tuck your toes, take it back to downward dog, and breathe here. Stretch everything out. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees, thighs together, big toes together. Sit back on the heels, lowering the chest, the head, all the way down. If your head doesn't make it to the floor, support it with your hands. If it does come down, arms can relax out in front of you or all the way back alongside you. Good. Let's place the hands on either side of the head, straighten the arms. Separate your knees, make two fists right next to one another, and bring those hands right in between the knees. Now take your hands, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're actually going to work on tripod today. So you want to keep your hands at a shoulder distance width. So you're looking at that space that's in between the hands, and you're going to look forward, making an equilateral triangle. So the top of your head is going to come forward to that space. So we don't want to bring the head really close to the hands. We want to lift away from the heels and set the head down. So if you were to look at your elbows, they'd be right over top of your wrists. So pause the video if you need to, set that all up. Hug your elbows in, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Find that sweet spot at the top of the head where it feels comfortable. And then once you have it set up, make sure that you're not going to turn your head. You can stay here. You're getting pressure right at the crown. You're bringing a lot of extra blood flow down to the head. You're getting the head lower than the heart. Those of you that typically work on inversions might tuck the toes. Maybe straighten the legs, walking the feet in. Maybe the knees can rest on the arms right above the elbows. Maybe the toes can leave the floor. Heels towards the buttocks, big toes together. Some of you might even have the ability to let the knees come up away from those arms. And if you can do that and hold it for a couple of breaths, maybe you're ready to take those legs up even higher. So don't kick, don't jump up. Make sure everything you do is done with control. Squeeze those knees in if they're resting on the arms. If you need a break, set the toes down, set the knees down. You can stay there. You can take it to child's pose. If you're still up in your tripod headstand, see if you can take those legs and open them wide apart. Continue to breathe deeply. Good. Can you bring the legs now back together? Can you start to work towards getting your knees to come back down onto the backs of the arms? You might be able to let the weight fall back into the hands, letting your head get light, coming up into crow, Kakasana. And then take rest in child's pose. Relax those wrists, arms and shoulders. Relax the neck. Soften your face, relax your scalp. Good. Hands on either side of the head. Slowly come up. Bring your thighs together. Sit your hips over to one side. And let your legs come forward. Pull the flesh out from underneath those sitting bones. Pull all 10 of your toes towards you. If you need a lift, some elevation underneath the seat, you can use a blanket, you can use a block. You want that natural curve to be there at the low back. Hands beside the hips, little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Good, inhale, lift the arms up, look up, and then exhale and fold. Reach for whatever you have access to, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your thighs. Pull the belly in, drag that heart forward, and now relax your head down. Close your eyes and just breathe deeply. Heart moving towards the toes, toes pulling back towards the heart. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, extend. Reach across the room with the arms. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms turn out and circle the arms down. Lie down on your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug them in with your hands and just rock side to side. Taking this opportunity to give your back a massage wherever it needs it. Pulling the knees in tighter to go higher up the back, keeping them really loose and wide to work across the very low back, hip area. And as you come back to center, just allow your legs and your arms to extend up in the air. Don't let your shoulders pull away from the earth. If this feels like too much work, arms can come down beside you, giving you some support. If that still feels like too much, take your block, place it underneath the low back, upper buttock area, and let those legs come up. Hips a little higher than the shoulders. Those of you that are fans of shoulder stand have the opportunity here to move into the pose, moving into it safely. Try to keep breathing as deeply and as slowly as you can. So if your hips are on the ground or the hips are on a block, you can take the legs wide apart. Hands to the inner thighs to open those legs even wider. If you're in shoulder stand, you can move into a wide-legged pose, but you won't use the hands on the thighs, obviously. Good. If your hands are on your inner thighs, bring them to the outer thighs, bring the legs back together. Arms can be up, arms can be down at the sides. Those of you in shoulder stand can move down into plow, halasana. Legs falling slowly over the face as you push out through the heels. If your toes happen to touch the ground behind the head, the palms can then come down to the ground as well. Try not to turn your head here, keep it straight. Good. If your hips, low back, are on a block, set your feet down on the ground here. You're going to lift off the block with one of your hands, move it out of the way, arms by the sides, legs come back up. If you're in plow, start to slowly roll your upper back down to the ground, mid back, Let your low back come down. So now we're all in the same position, arms at the sides. Press the heels up, start to lower your legs towards the ground, pushing your heels forward. Once the heels touch, separate your feet, turn your palms up. Take a couple deep breaths here. Good, legs together. Walk your feet towards your buttocks. Reach down with your hands, making sure that your feet are at a natural hip distance width. Thighs are parallel. Flatten your low back down, tuck the chin, and now inhale, take it up into bridge pose. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Press down through the length of both the arms. Press down through the head. Press down through those feet. Try not to let those knees splay apart, wider than hip distance. Some of you may have the ability to clasp the hands, to climb higher up onto the triceps. But don't clasp the hands if your wrist area starts to pull away from the floor. Try not to cause any strain to your wrists. Keep breathing. Inhale onto the toes. Take the arms to a T and start to roll upper back down, then mid back, low back. Let your heels come down. Let your knees fall towards one another as your feet walk as wide as your mat is. Take a deep breath in. And now exhale, let your legs slowly release to the right. Turn your head to the left. So you can come right onto the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left. Close your eyes and just breathe deeply. In through the nose and out through the nose. Really just try to surrender your body to gravity as best you can. See if you can keep your eyes closed. Both shoulders are heavy on your mat. Wait for your next inhale. Let your head and your knees come up, and now knees travel to the left, head turns to the right. Rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot and the inner edge of the right foot. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed. Relax your face, your scalp. Relax those hips and buttocks. On your inhale, let your head and your knees come up. Start to walk your feet together. Bring your heels as close to you as you can, and now let the soles of your feet connect and your knees release down. Tuck the chin, find length at the back of the neck. Arms can stay to a T, palms up, or you can bend at the elbow, point your fingers straight back behind you, coming into cactus arms. Or you can lift the elbows higher, fingertips eventually come towards one another above the head. So you've created a diamond shape with your arms around your head. Keep the back of the neck long. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Gravity pulls the knees down, so feel that opening in the hips, inner thighs, through the muscles, deep within the groin. On your next inhale, let your knees come up, soles of the feet plant. Draw your knees to your chest, reach for your knees with your hands. And just rock side to side. Good, so come to center, take a grip on the back of your thighs, pop the hips up and roll up and down the length of your spine. If you know that that doesn't feel good for your back, don't do it. Go side to side instead. If you are going back and forth, roll back one more time, come up to seated, and sit comfortably cross-legged. So maybe you want a little blanket. See if you can take your right leg in front of your left leg. So we're going to do a spinal twist here. The ears should be over the shoulders and the shoulders should be over the hips. Your right hand is going to come around behind you, fingers pointing away. Bring your hand in as close to the midline of the body as possible and as close to you as it needs to be. Don't let your shoulder come up towards the ear. Let that arm be like a brace, helping you to sit up straight. Now let's inhale, lift that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach across for the outside of that right leg and start to turn to the right, your chest, and then your head, and then finally your eyes, as far to the right as they'll go. Close the eyes. Relax your jaw. Pull the chin just slightly back towards the throat, not down towards the chest. So the neck stays very long. And just breathe here in this twist, twisting out toxins, tension, and stress. One last inhale. Exhale, twist to your furthest. Now inhale, just turn the head back to center and then release the body back to center. So take your right leg now in close to you and bring your left leg in front. Left arm comes around and behind you, acting like that brace, that second spine. Fingers point back behind you. Inhale, that right arm reaches up, and now reach across for the outside of the left leg, turning your chest, and then your head, and then finally your eyes as far to the left as they'll go. And breathe, lengthening through the crown, breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Chin is pulling back towards the throat. Keep looking into the far corners of the eyes as you look around behind you, even behind the closed lids. One last inhale. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, look forward, return to center. Remove that lift if you have it underneath your seat. If you want your socks on right now, put them on because we aren't going to be coming back up. Anything else you need to put on the body except for a blanket. Lie back down on your back. Draw your knees into your chest. And just rock side to side. We're going to do one last twist, this time reclined. So come back to center with the legs, squeeze the knees together. Bring your arms to a T. This time, press your palms down to the ground. Squeezing those legs together, take a deep breath in. Exhale, start to lower your legs to the right, turn your head to the left, and before your left shoulder pulls away from the floor, set your feet down. Doesn't matter how far over the legs get. If it feels better, you can turn your palms up to face the ceiling. Try to keep that left shoulder and shoulder blade heavy on your yoga mat. Just close your eyes here and breathe deeply through your nose. Breathing into that left lung at this moment, so open and so exposed. Take advantage of that. As you breathe out, squeezing that low belly in towards the spine, twisting, manipulating, and massaging the visceral organs. Trying to relax even deeper with every exhale. The body might not be moving, but any tension is starting to soften. The body is beginning to relax and almost melt down to the ground. Take another full inhale. Exhale completely. Turn your palms down, flexing your feet. Wait for the inhale to come. Let your head and your knees come up. Exhale, legs go left, head goes to the right. Before the right shoulder lifts, set the feet down. And again, the option is there to turn the palms up or keep them as they are. And just breathe here, taking advantage of the open right side of the chest now. Breathe deeply and breathe very slowly. In and out through your nose. Try to let go of tension that you're holding in the low back. Feeling both your shoulders resting heavy. The face soft, the eyes closed. Start to turn your palms down. Start to flex both the feet. Inhale, head and knees come through center. Reach for your knees. And just rock side to side. One last little massage here for the low back. And then roll back to center. Squeeze your legs together. Lift the forehead towards the knees. Wrap the arms, if you can, even more tightly around the legs. Start to squeeze fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, arms, legs, belly, back, neck, face, scalp. Squeeze and release. Lower your head and set your feet down. If you want a blanket, grab it, place it over your body. If there's anything else you need, an eye pillow to block out the light of your space. Come into Shavasana, corpse pose, allowing your body to grow heavy. Arms and legs extend down and away from you on the same diagonal line. Shoulder blades are tucked, chin is tucked, the neck is long. Let your back teeth separate, let your lips just slightly part so your jaw is completely relaxed. And then allow the tip of the tongue to rest on the roof of the mouth behind the top front teeth. The rest of the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth towards the throat. And as you relax your throat, the breath gets quiet. The breath goes soft as it returns back to its natural state. Let your eyes become very still in their sockets. Just allow gravity to pull your whole body down towards the ground. Everything is heavy. Everything is relaxed. The whole body is relaxed. allow yourself to rest here in this safe place. Allow the benefits of your practice to really start to sink in. And just let go. Let go of the need to be busy, to be thinking, and just be. Be here now. Take rest. Allow your breath to deepen and lengthen. Start to bring movement back to your fingers and your toes, to your ankles and your wrists, and let your head turn from side to side. Bring your head back through center, let your legs slide together and stretch your arms all the way over your head behind you. And take a deep breath in. Make the body as long as it possibly can be, and then relax the arms down, draw your knees to your chest, and just rock side to side. Roll over onto your right side and pause here. The eyes remain closed, the focus within. Press down into your right elbow and your left palm and make your way slowly to seated. Try to keep the eyes still closed. Sit comfortably, maybe cross-legged, maybe in Vajrasana, maybe with the legs extended out. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Let your hands come together at your heart. Bringing to mind the two intentions that you began your practice with today. That intention that was for you, and that intention for a greater good, something beyond yourself. Sealing in all of our efforts now with the chanting of Om once again. Take a deep breath in. And now we hinge from our hips, folding forward. Hands can come to the ground if they're needed for support. And take a moment here, letting go of your practice. The divine light within me graciously acknowledges and bows to that same divine light within you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Please, once again, keep sharing this YouTube channel with all your friends, all your family, everybody that you can. It's growing slowly, and we appreciate all your efforts. So subscribe, like it, share it. Happy Thursday.